So he couldn't have been a Jew or Christian. Allah Ta'ala says after that, مَا كَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَهُودِيًّا وَلَا نَصْرَانِيًّا وَلَكِنْ كَانَ حَنِيفًا مُسْلِمًا وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Ibrahim alayhi salam was not a Jew and he was not a Christian, but he was a Hanif. He was pure in his religion. He was a Muslim. And he was not a polytheist. That's a clear-cut evidence. Because a person can't say he was a Christian if a Christian is a follower of Christ, and Christ is one of his grandchildren. That definition, by definition, Christian, that doesn't work. He can't be a Jew if the Jews are Bani Israel, basically, who came from his son, Yaqub alayhi salam. It can't be that he's his grandson, he's named after a tribe that came from one of his grandchildren. That he had Ishaq alayhi salam, had Yaqub alayhi salam, and then he's named after the children of Yaqub alayhi salam. Doesn't make any sense. But Muslim, that definition, Muslim, or one who submits to Allah, well, you can't say a prophet wasn't submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah ta'ala was busting with clear evidences, huh? Clear-cut evidence. Can't nobody argue with. It's clear-cut. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam argued with the king. The king says, he says to the king, my Lord gives life and death. What the king say? I give life and death. King have two men come out of prison. He tells them to kill one of them. He lets the other one go free. See, I gave life and death. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam says, okay, my Lord brings his son from the east. Bring her from the west. Allah says in the Quran, فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. Allah Ta'ala says the one who disbelieved was made to look stupid. He was dumbfounded. He had no answer for that. Because he surely could not make the sun come up from the west. So Allah Ta'ala, he brings logical evidences, clear-cut evidences that agree with sound logic and intellect in the Quran. The Quran is a very intellectual book. You know what I'm saying? It is at the pinnacle of intelligence and intellect as far as the language that was used, the highest level of grammar, the meanings of that high level of grammar. A person can use a high level of grammar and be saying nothing. A person can be using, like Shakespeare, a good example, right? Use a high level of English, very eloquent English, but not saying anything that's going to save anybody from hellfire, or that's going to give somebody guidance, or that's going to make someone become upright, but very deep, very, very deep speech though. The speech is rich in meaning, but it's not the type that's going to make somebody have guidance and save them from the hellfire. You see what I'm saying? So the profundity of the Quran, the eloquence of the Quran, the clear-cut evidences in the Quran that are irrefutable. The fact that Allah Ta'ala mentions the same story over and over again in the Quran, but will mention different aspects and details of the story that wasn't in the other surah. So Allah mentioned the same story over again, and then you'll see that all the story mentioned over and over again, there's no contradiction, they all coincide. But they give more detail than in the other surah. So these is logical proofs are in the Quran. And if a person doesn't have logic, they can't even appreciate the Quran. So people that try to attack logic, like logic came from the Greeks, logic came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Read the Quran, huh? The Greeks can't invent logic. That's like saying, well, the Arabic language of the Quran came down in, that was made by Arabic murderers and people that put their daughters in the ground before the Quran was revealed. That's as stupid as saying that. Did the Arabs, did they create Arabic or did Allah Ta'ala create Arabic? Why are you giving them so much credit as if they invented something from scratch that Allah didn't create and give to them? You know what I'm saying? Then that gets into a person actually ascribing things to other than the creator of those things. The universe came from Allah. Allah created the universe. It didn't come from itself. Knowledge came from Allah. Whether it was harmful knowledge or beneficial knowledge, it all came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no second source. It's not that the shaitan has a source of knowledge and that he gives knowledge to people too, that Allah ta'ala doesn't have. Allah has all the knowledge. So why they get stuck on that Greek thing, I have no idea. Why they ascribe something to the Greeks that the Greeks had no power ability to make without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala making that thing. So Allah Ta'ala made, the thing is that it's not about the source or where it came from. The real thing a person has to look at is it true or false? Does it coincide or not? Does it coincide with common sense? Does it coincide with what Allah said in the Quran or what came in the Sunnah? If it coincides with that, a person is to accept it. The Prophet ﷺ had Abu Hurairah alayhi radwanallah accept something that the shaitan himself said. Couldn't he said that when the shaitan came those 3 nights in a row and stole from the Bayt al-Mal, and he told Abu Hurairah alayhi radwanallah after he caught him on that 3rd night, he told him that if you read, I'll teach you something, if you do it, no shaitan can come to you to the next day. If you read Ayatul Kursi, no shaitan can come to you to the next day. When he told the Prophet ﷺ that, he said, Sadaqaka wa huwa kadhub. He said he told you the truth, but he's a liar. That was the shaitan. The Prophet ﷺ said, well, because this came from the shaitan, you're not going to do that. But don't read Ayatul Kursi, read Surah Yasin. No, he said, no, he was right. What he said was right. He told the truth this time, and he's really a liar. So it wasn't about people looking at the sources. When a person can only judge something being right or wrong or true or false based on the source, that means that they are a blind follower. They have taqleed in them. Because whatever so-and-so say gotta be right, whatever this group of people say gotta be wrong. No matter if it's right or wrong, because they said it is wrong, because he said it is right. That's blind following. A person with intellect can look at, well, these people, they're usually wrong, but they're right now. And this brother or this shaykh, he usually right, but right now he's wrong. That's the person that has some intellect. May Allah Ta'ala give us understanding. Inshallah, we have to make salah. So we'll stop here, inshallah. Jazakumullah Ta'ala khairan for your time. May Allah benefit us from what we heard. And inshallah, we will continue on Wednesday. Barakallahu feekum.
وصلي في كل حالة على مزيل الضلالة من كلمته الغزالة محمد الهادي الدار